Today we're going to look at an old song that's now a new song. This song is called Do You Realize? It was originally recorded by the band that wrote this song, the Flaming Lips, and the Flaming Lips are still around and still out there playing. Willie Nelson recorded a version of this on his latest album, and I'm going to put a link to his cover of it in the comments, and that's the version that I'm going to teach you today. Today I'm going to show you, we're going to start off and we're going to look at the chords for Do You Realize, and then we're going to look at the structure for Do You Realize. Do You Realize has a little modulation section in it. If you're going to be true to the arrangement, you include the modulation. It's only a few more chords, and all of those chords can easily be played. I'm going to show you the chords, and then I'm going to show you the strumming, and then I'm going to take you through section by section. There's really a two-part verse, and then there's a kind of a refrain. So we'll jump into it. Here are the chord close-ups for Do You Realize? It just starts off with an ordinary G, a B minor. If you can't bar, you can just play your B minor like this, but don't play A and E, low strings. E minor is just an ordinary regular E minor. And then at the end of the intro, it's A7. In the main body of the verse, the top half of the verse, it's a G. Just like we just did, B minor, E minor, and then at the end we play a half pattern each on D and C. Okay, those are all the chords that we have there. When we get to line 3, we introduce a C major 7. It's just a C with no pointer. Do you realize? To B minor, E minor, D and C. Okay, and then in the fourth line, it's G, B minor, E minor, and then we get to a C or C major 7. You can use either one, switching to a C minor. So here's how I play that. Line 4. Do you realize? Do you realize? To the B minor. That everyone, C or C major 7. I find C major 7 is easier and it sounds just as nice. Everyone, then C minor. And then to a G, and then I'm just adding the second fret of the G string to the G, and then taking it off. So, everyone you know someday will G die. C add 9, G add 9, adding the pointer, back to G, back to the add 9. Okay? Here's the next chords is C, we've already done. Let's see. Okay, so the last half of the verse, C, E minor, D, we've already got all those chords. Here are the chords for the section that leads into the modulation and the modulation itself. So we start here. You realize, sorry, it goes G. Realize to B minor, sun doesn't go down. D, just an illusion, C major 7, caused by, then C minor, world spinning, and then G, and then a C minor at the 3rd fret, and then to an F. And the next line, where Willie sings, in this modulated line, he goes, do you realize? And then there's no singing, and it's just a D minor. You can play an open D minor if you want. Here's the open D minor here if you want to. I play a bar G minor just because it's easy to get to, and I'm trying to force you to use your bar chords. Then we're going to a D sharp minor at the 6th fret, is what I'm using here. And I'm going to a D7 in the C shape with its root on the A string is at the 5th fret, and that takes us back to the beginning of the final verse that goes out, which is the G. Okay, so let's talk about the strumming. So the strumming is so thumb down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And that's just a variation on the Flaming Lips original strumming, a little bit more country. It's Willie Nelson. Hey, let's talk about section by section. The intro is just 4 chords, and they're the G, B minor, E minor is the main structure of the song. So it does one of the strumming patterns for each of the chords. So G to the B minor, to the E minor, and then it does this A7, which is essentially a turnaround or leading us back into the G. Okay, and that's the end of the intro. When we come out of the A7, we go into the top half of the verse. The top half of the verse is 4 lines that are very similar, but at the end, it leads us to the second half of the verse. And then there's a weird little refrain that goes after that. So let's talk about the first half of the verse. So the first part is G to B minor, E minor, and then these last ones are half a pattern. Okay, so it goes, do you realize that you have the most beautiful face? Do you realize? Then we go into line 2. It's the same, except the end, instead of the DC, it has a measure of A7, just like the intro at the beginning. Do you realize? We're floating in space. Okay, and now we're going to a slight variation for line 3. Starts on a C major 7 instead of a G. Do you realize? To a B minor, E minor. Happiness makes you cry. So it's very similar to line 1, except it starts with that C major 7. And then line 4 is, it's very similar to line 2, but it's going to resolve in a different way at the end. So it goes, do you realize that everyone you know someday will die? And then we're going G, G add 9. You're just playing, adding an A on the G string. And now we're going to the second half of the verse. The refrain section, the end of the second half of the verse, and the refrain section. So let's start at the beginning of the refrain. Instead of saying all of your goodbyes, so that's C and then E minor and then D. And then we go to the G, G, C, G, D thing. So that let them know you realize G, C. Life goes fast, back to G. Hard to make and then to D. Good things last. And then to G. Realize to B minor. Sun doesn't go down. Then this next line seems a little weird, but you'll get used to it. Starts with a D. Just an illusion. C major 7, caused by. Then we're going to C minor, the world spinning, and then to G. Nice, easy resolution. Round. And then it does a little turnaround repeat of C minor, a little cadence, really is what it is, a C minor to F. And that goes down to the F. Do you realize? Willie goes to the F. Do you realize? To the D minor, to G minor, and then D sharp minor. So the end is D sharp minor to D7, back to G. And when we come back to G there, we're coming back to do you realize? And it's that line that goes, it's the line from the end of the first half of the verse. Do you realize that everyone you know someday will die? And into that add nine. There you go. So there's the Do You Realize, the Willie Nelson arrangement. I do realize that there are some moving parts to this song. It's not the simplest song in the world, although it sounds much more complex than it really is. What's going to make it easier is if you have my transcription in front of you. So if you want a copy of my transcription, which is just a lyric sheet, but that shows the correct chord changes as I've discussed in the video, just send me an email, bonner.harris@gmail.com, and I'll send you a copy of my transcription of the lyrics and chords that Willie's using on this recording at no charge. I hope you have fun with it. If you are enjoying the lesson and having fun and learning some stuff, please subscribe. Please click on like. If you're looking for some more songs to fool around with, I'm going to put some suggestions up here. Have a click on those and see what you think. Hope you find something that you will enjoy and that will take you forward in your learning journey on the guitar. My name's Bonner. I hope you'll come back and visit me soon.